Hey there, Jack and Jill Motorcycle out there in YouTube land. Welcome back to the MOA's YouTube channel, because we're gonna unbox something and put it on and show you how it works. The something is the Touratech Toolbox that's made for the inside of the hard case system that they sell. The Zega, Evo, and Evo X system. Now it's important to remember there's two different versions. There's one for the stock BMW racks that go on your GS, and this is my 2015 R1200GS. So there's one for the stock BMW racks, and then there's another one for the racks that Touratech sells. I'm guessing the mounting bits are different, but the toolbox is the same. So let's see what's in the box. That's the box. Handy dandy razor blade. Remember to retract it so you don't cut your seat, because that sounds like something I would do. The box didn't quite fit all the way in the case, so I smashed it a little bit. All right, first we've got the Fender eliminator kit to cover up the holes in the final drive, and I'll show you why we needed this. Bag of parts, the mounting kit, that's the thing that's different depending on what rack you have. Got the toolbox itself. Some papers, cruise tools, magazine or catalog, manuals, pick list. Let's see what we got here. This is product installation instructions, which I kind of griped about this before. They send you to the website, which I understand why they do it, because instructions can change over time, but I'd rather just have a piece of paper that shows me how to do it. So, and they also don't include a user's manual anymore. That's what this piece of paper is for, to tell you where to go to find the manual. So, since I'm using my phone to film this video, I can't get on my phone to go look at the instruction installations. So I'm gonna have to pause, go get a computer. Let's take a look at what's in the bag. Oh, it comes with keys. I wish I'd have known that. I probably could have asked them to key it to my Zegas, but that just means I got another key to carry around. We'll see what happens with that. Oh, it's sealed in the corner of the bag. That's kind of slick. So you don't lose them. It does go on this side of the bike. So the door here, the door points towards the back, and then this slants. They do tell you that you got to take the fender off, and then it looks like these holes here and here are for the mounting bits. But you could have mounted on the other side, so maybe there's plugs or something. We'll figure it out. It's got a little slidey thing here to cover the lock. And then the door comes all the way off. So I will probably figure out a way to lose that, or put a tether on it or something. Got a lip. There you go. You just have to kind of maneuver it into place, and then you can put the little slider over the lock to protect it. Very cool. I'm not going to embarrass this guy by telling you whose bike this is, but this is kind of a janky setup with hose clamps and plastic cases that might be perfectly suitable. Maybe he does a lot of off-roading. It's nice and waterproof for sure. His bike looks a little messed up here, so maybe he crashed it or something. But I was trying to avoid that look, so I'm pro not janky. You don't need a lot of tools to do this. You need 10mm box end wrench. You need a 4mm hex driver, and you need a 3mm hex driver. The instructions specify to use some thread lock, which makes sense. You don't want this falling off. You can see I've prepared the area by removing the existing impediment, which is the saddlebag itself, the pannier, whatever you call it. It goes basically right there. inside. So since we know the mounts are going to go on this side, we're going to put the plugs on this side to keep it waterproof. And it does indeed have a tether that goes on the lid, so we'll do that. So the instructions specify to use these cap nuts, which are pretty handy, and we'll find the screws that fit in them. Maybe these short ones will do the trick. Yeah, that'll do it with a little thread lock. So this is just a little fiddly, but as long as you pay attention to what you're doing. So I'm not going to make you watch me do all 4 of them.
Later that same evening.
The next part, we've got to fix the mounts to the toolbox. There's 2 of them. There's one that's a bent piece with 2 bends like this, and it's going to go here, and then this goes to the mount on the rack. And the other one goes on the front, and it's got a adjustable side and a threaded side. So you're going to put the adjustable side here, and you're going to want to leave that just a little bit loose so that you can slide the mounts once you get everything on the bike. But this goes on first. And these get washers on the outside and the cap nuts on the inside. That's the cap nut. Okay. Getting the ones on the front in is a little fiddly, but this is the one that they're not fully tightened down yet. You can see this moves just a little bit, because I'm going to have to adjust it once it's on the rack. And I forgot to tell you that on the inside, this is the tether. You can see here, that's a different, it's not a regular washer. So I pinched the knot in the tether between the back of the washer and the side of the toolbox. And then once I'm all done, I'll tie this to the lid and maybe put a little drop of super glue or a zip tie or something in there to hold it. In a pinch, you could also do this with zip ties if you didn't have the tether. So that's the cap washer or the cap nut, and they all have a little bit of thread lock on them. This one is tight because it adjusts on the side, on the rack, rather than on the toolbox. So the next thing we got to do is prep the rack for the toolbox. That's page 1 of the instructions done. The drawings don't give us much of a difference, and these don't actually look all that different either. So I think we just got to make sure that we get a pair so you can see they fit together like puzzle pieces. So you don't want to try to match up 2 of the same. You want to get 2 with different tabs. But other than that, they look like they're the same size, no matter what. Somebody just showed up with a bike. That's going to make a lot of noise, so we're going to pause this for a minute.
Later.
As is the case with most of these kind of aftermarket accessories from Touratech, even though this fits on their rack, you end up juggling a lot of parts in your hands, which can be frustrating. This has to go around here, and it marries together like that. And then you have to hold a nut on the back and thread a screw in just to get it started. And what you really need is 1 extra hand or a helper. I got 1 screw started. And that's a nylock nut on this side, so you don't need thread lock on this one because it's got the nylock right there on the nut. Sorry, my hand's in the way, I know. I usually end up dropping these on the floor 6 or 8 times. All right, once you got that started, you can grab your 10mm and your 4mm hex, 10mm wrench, and you can snug it up. You just want to kind of get it started so you can adjust the tilt of the toolbox. Okay, that's starting to snug up. So let's get this positioned. So I want that to have just be as even as possible. And it looks like I got it. And now we'll tighten this the rest of the way. Okay, I've got to reach inside with this so I can tighten these up, because remember, these are on a little bit of a slider and I didn't tighten those all the way. So now I got to do that. All right, and then the last thing to do is tie the other end of the tether to the little hole in the mount for the door. So the way this goes on, it's actually pretty slick. You can't take the key out when it's unlocked. The key stays in when it's unlocked. The only way to take the key out is to lock it. So that's how it goes on. And I'm gonna wanna be able to drop that as far as possible. So this is what we're gonna do. Run that down as far as I can. So I've got slack. And then I can use that to tighten it against itself. And so that'll hang down and you won't lose your lid. So I'll give you a shot inside the toolbox there. Those were the cap nuts that I had to reach all the way inside. And I was able to get a good bit of my arm in there. Get a view of that. I'm touching the end of it. So it's a nice deep box there. Now the other thing I gotta do is, because the way this is situated, if you fully compress the shocks, then the inside edge of the box will contact the fender. Now I've got an extra flap on there, so I don't need anything. I don't really need this. So I'm gonna take it off and put the cover kit on in its place. And that will just take a few seconds. So I used a T35, my trusty T35 driver here, to get the 3 bolts out of the stock bumper. And this comes with a cover that goes on the upper 2 bolts, and it comes with 3 bolts, 2 long ones that go through the cover and 1 short one that goes in the bottom hole just to fill it up. And these are, instead of being T, these are, let's see, 4mm. You don't use thread lock on these, just get them good and snug. This serves as the washer, and they have the cap head, so you don't need a washer. And this is just nice light aluminum. And the way it fits in there is it fits just like that, and it covers up the ABS sensor wire there just a little bit. It doesn't sit down on the wire, it sits up off of it, and it's not gonna bend. If it does, I've got rocks in my boot there, then we've probably got other problems to worry about. So there, that's all done. So it is limited. You can't put a lot of weight in there, nor would you want to. I'm gonna put my tire pump in there and my tire repair tool that gets it out of my saddlebag. It doesn't really fit. My tool roll would probably fit, except that it's too fat on either end to get through the opening. And I'll put my GS911 in there and the adapter when I get home, and get the case for it so it's not just banging around in the plastic bag. So that'll offload some of the stuff from my one side case and give me a safe place to lock things up if I need to on occasion. Then you need the key. Now, last thing we need to do is make sure that the side case will go back on over top of it, and then we'll take another look at it. So no trouble getting it on, getting the side case on over top of it. You can see it's pretty good tolerances here, and that's gonna come in real handy. Thanks for watching. I know it's a little weird sometimes to see how those things go together, but hopefully this helps somebody. I've been waiting for those to come back in stock at Touratech for a while, and saw them on the website, grabbed that one, and of course now that they have an East Coast location, their shipping is a lot faster to where I live in Virginia, so I got it in just a day or two, and that made things real nice. Just make sure that if you get the Touratech Toolbox for your bike, that you get the proper mounting kit based on your motorcycle and the rack system that you have on your bike. They do have multiple ones, and this will fit on more than just BMWs, so it's useful for a lot of different bikes. It looks nice. Especially looks nice with the Zega Evo and Evo X side cases. It's an integrated system, so it all kind of fits together. I do wish that I had thought to tell them what my key code was for my side cases. That would have made things a little easier, but in the long run, it's just another key to keep track of, and Touratech is really good about extra keys as long as you know the code. Like, comment, subscribe, come back often and enjoy everything that we have to offer from all sorts of different videos. Work has to get done when work has to get done, and it doesn't matter about this stuff. So take it easy. See you around. It's funnier. It's funnier that way.